name is Marlena and welcome to my home. This week's meal prep, we're going to be having veggie beef soup, spaghetti, lasagna, chicken tacos, stir fry, and chicken and rice. The ones that I will not be prepping, it's easy to make day of, is going to be the spaghetti and the stir fry. The chicken tacos, I do need to grill the chicken for that. And then we will be prepping together the chicken and rice, lasagna, and the veggie beef soup. So we are going to be starting with the lasagna. I have some thawed meat right here in this bowl, and I have water in it heating up, and I'm going to take 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of venison and get it cooking over here in my large cast iron. Now moving over to this sirloin while that ground meat finishes up cooking. This is a 1.5 pound sirloin, and I'm just going to remove some of the fat and also this bone. And now I'm just gonna cut this into about 1-inch pieces. I'm going to dump all of this in this bowl and just stick it in the fridge for right now, because this is actually gonna be the last thing that we do today. I pressure cooked the water to get it hot quickly, and now I have it on saute mode so that I can cook this pasta with it open. While we wait on a few things, I'm gonna go ahead and get the cheese mixture, as well as get some mozzarella shredded. I'm gonna start with shredding cheese.
Okay, now you finish that block so it looks like you actually did it.
I'll put that part in the video.
Sure.
Now working in this bowl, I have a 24-ounce container of cottage cheese and 2 15-ounce containers of ricotta. And I am making like the equivalent of 2 full lasagnas. That pasta looks done, so I'm gonna take this bowl and a little bit of avocado spray, and I'm gonna put the pasta in here and spray a little bit more on top to prevent it from sticking together. And I'm gonna go ahead and get that other box put in. I'm going to very carefully lay this hot pasta down. Some fresh ground black pepper on top, and I'm going to stick this into the oven. I have these 2 glass dishes now, and we're going to make smaller lasagnas in here. This leftover pasta, I'm going to cut it into little strips, and I'm going to throw it back into this hot water and let it continue to cook. That way I have a little bit of pasta that I can have ready, and I'm gonna freeze it for my 8-month-old. We're also gonna be making her a special veggie pasta sauce. poured that pasta into this metal bowl over here. And now I'm going to put 2 packs of organic chicken breast into my Instant Pot with a little bit of water. I'm gonna pressure cook this chicken for 20 minutes. Now that I have the chicken going in the Instant Pot, I'm gonna get this sliced up. As soon as that chicken is done, I'm going to throw in some rice and get it cooked, and then we'll be able to actually mix that together, and then the chicken and rice will be done. So right here I have a butternut squash. I'm not making a ton of this veggie pasta sauce. Half of this, I'm just gonna dice it and put it in the freezer. In this pan, I'm going to add some chicken broth, all of our butternut squash, and our onion. The store was out of carrots, or I would have put that in here as well. And I'm just going to let these come up to a simmer until everything is soft.
Hot?
It is hot. I'm also going to throw 3 cloves of garlic in there.
Mommy.
Oh, don't eat it.
Mommy, my turn.
Your turn. You want to stir? Nope, gentle. Gentle, it's very hot. Good job. All right, let's let it sit. Now that all of this is soft, I'm going to put it into my Vitamix and blend it up with just a little bit of organic marinara sauce. I have about 1/4 of a jar of organic marinara sauce. So I'm gonna add this in with it, and also a little bit more organic chicken broth. Now I'm going to portion out this pasta, and all of it's gonna be frozen. So I have these silicone little muffin molds. The chicken I just pulled out of the Instant Pot. I'm gonna let this cool just a little bit, and then I'm gonna shred it. I measured out 1.5 cups of the chicken broth. From that, I put it back in the Instant Pot with 1.5 cups of rice. Now I'm going to close this, seal it, and I'm gonna hit the rice button. I'm gonna be making the veggie beef soup in my Instant Pot as well. So I'm just gonna do some dishes, put some things away. My sink is very full behind me. The lasagna that I made did come out. I forgot about it, but it's okay. The cheese is just a little bit more done on top than I would like, but I'm letting that rest for a little bit, and then we'll be having that for dinner. I'm gonna put all of this rice right here. Now that the butter is melted, I'm gonna add probably 1/3 of this onion. I'm going to add in some of this minced garlic. I'm gonna add a little bit more butter. Now that the butter is melted, we're going to make a roux. We're gonna add some flour. The other half I'm gonna put in a bag, and we're gonna freeze it. We're also adding some organic chicken broth. I'm also adding a bag of organic peas. I'm gonna put half of this in a bowl and put it in the fridge, and half of it in a bag to freeze for next week. Alright, I am going to turn this on saute mode, add a little bit of oil. I'm gonna pour this beef in there. I am putting some salt. Are you gonna go watch TV with them? Or are you gonna help me?
I gotta help you.
Okay. Now that all of this beef is browned, I'm going to add the rest of our onion. I don't have any beef broth, so I did about 32 ounces of chicken broth. I'm adding my 1 can of tomato sauce, and then the other can of crushed tomatoes. Normally you would slow cook this. To speed this up, I'm gonna pressure cook it for 15 minutes and then we'll come back to this. The pressure cooking is now over. I'm gonna add a bag of mixed veggies, adding a little bit of salt and also some pepper. I also added about 2 tablespoons of honey. I just put this on slow cook high, and I'm just going to let it sit until the beef is starting to fall apart. It is now the next day, and I have decided that I'm also going to make some lemon blueberry muffins. So I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 350. I'm gonna make this all in one bowl instead of dirtying something else. So I'm gonna start with half a cup. You can also use sugar for a less messy option. Half a cup of sour cream. The recipe calls for yogurt, but I do not have yogurt. The recipe also calls for 1 egg, and I do not have any eggs. So I'm going to make a flax egg, which is going to be 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed with 3 tablespoons of water. Next is half a cup of applesauce. I have these pouches. This is almost half a cup, so I'm just going to use this. Half a cup of milk. Now that this is stirred, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna just mix these into the flour a little bit. Now I'm gonna stir this together. The recipe does say not to overmix, so I'm gonna stop there. Now I need a cup of blueberries and a teaspoon of lemon zest. Turns out this is all I have. So luckily I have some fresh blueberries. Now I'm going to fold this together. I want to make mini muffins, so I just lined this pan. Now I'm going to hold this over the sink and spray it with some avocado oil spray. This is going to go in the oven for about 15 minutes. Halfway through, I'm going to rotate it. Second batch going in the oven. I still have muffins going in and out of the oven, but we have our lemon blueberry mini muffins. Here is some lasagna. This is what went into the fridge. I have a couple of these containers in there for us to eat on. And then here I have the other 2 that have been in the freezer. Here we have the veggie sauce pasta mainly for the baby, but these are also going to work really well for my toddlers. This is the frozen chicken and rice. I have another one in a bowl in the fridge. I just didn't want to get that one out. And then this right here is an old collagen container that I have put half of that veggie beef soup in. Thank you so much for coming along with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.